Hi everybody, in this video we are going to discuss about the life cycle of Wuchereria bankruptcy. Life cycle of Wuchereria bankruptcy. We already studied and identified the disease that is caused by this particular organism, Wuchereria bankruptcy, which is very commonly known as what? The disease known as the filariasis. Okay, the disease known as filariasis, or it is well known as what? Elephantiasis. Okay, it is well known as elephantiasis. Okay, this is the disease that it causes, Wuchereria bankruptcy. And now in this video we are going to discuss about the life cycle of Wuchereria bankruptcy. And we have to remember that this particular pathogen is known as undergoing the process of digenetic. What do you mean by the digenetic? Which means it requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. It requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. Unlike Ascaris lumbricoids, where Ascaris lumbricoids requires only one host to complete its life cycle. But here, Wuchereria bankruptcy requires two hosts to complete its life cycle. So here, now the first host is the man. Okay, the first host in which it will be undergoing multiplication is the man. Okay, the first host is the man. So host 1, what is happening in man we are going to discuss now. In man, so here in man, this particular Wuchereria bankruptcy, it is present in the lymphatic vessels. It is present in the lymphatic vessels. So let us say that there is a male Wuchereria bankruptcy, okay, male Wuchereria bankruptcy worm, and also there is female Wuchereria bankruptcy worm. Okay, there are male and female Wuchereria bankruptcy. And generally, the male and female Wuchereria bankruptcy are present coiled with each other. They are present coiled with each other. So these are present coiled with each other. Let us remember that these are present coiled with each other. So during copulation, as we also studied, okay, we already studied in the previous video that during the time of copulation, the female will be producing some chemicals. It will be producing the chemicals to attract what? The male. Okay, this female Wuchereria bankruptcy worm is releasing some chemicals to attract the male Wuchereria bankruptcy to involve in copulation. So with the release of those chemicals, now these two, or the male, will be involving in sexual intercourse, or let us say now these two will participate in the process of copulation. Okay, they involve in the process of copulation. So once they participate in the process of copulation, followed by what? It leads to what? The fertilization. Okay, followed by fertilization. Now this particular female worm, okay, female Wuchereria bankruptcy, right after the fertilization, it is releasing the eggs. Which are covered by a sheath, okay, which are covered by a loose sheath, okay, loose cuticular sheath. Okay, it is covered by the eggs are covered by loose cuticular sheath. Okay, loose cuticular sheath. Okay, the eggs are covered by what? Loose cuticular sheath. Okay, these are the eggs that are there present now. And here we have to keep one point in mind when we are saying that the female is releasing the eggs which are enclosed by a loose cuticular sheath. Okay, loose cuticular sheath means what? It is having in this egg the microfilaria larvae. What does this egg contains which is covered by cuticular sheath? It is having the microfilaria larvae. It has the microfilaria larvae. What is this microfilaria larvae that is present in the fertilized egg? These microfilaria larvae are nothing but they are the immature worms. Okay, immature worms. So here one point, a very interesting point we have to keep in mind. Here microfilaria larvae means what? Immature worms. Means the egg, the fertilized egg is already consisting of what? The immature worms, which are nothing but called as what? Otherwise, the microfilarial larvae. So whenever this microfilarial larvae is present, okay, larva is present in a sheath or in an egg enclosed by a sheath, we call this as what? Ovoviviparous. Okay, ovoviviparous. Okay, this is the word which we have to keep in mind. Okay, ovoviviparous. So here, ovoviviparous. Ovoviviparous is the word that is used when an egg is consisting, when a fertilized egg. Please remember, when a fertilized egg is hatched and it consists of an immature worms here. Okay, immature worms. We are saying it as ovoviviparous. Now, what are those immature worms? They are nothing but what? Microfilarial larvae. Okay, microfilarial larvae is there present in the eggs. Okay, enclosed by a sheath. That sheath is what now? Cuticular sheath. Okay, cuticular sheath is present enclosing the microfilarial larvae. Now, this microfilarial larvae are immediately released. Okay, these are released into the lymphatic glands or into the lymph. Let us say they are released into the lymph. Okay, they are released into the lymph. So from the lymph, now this microfilarial larvae, now which are released into the lymph, immediately they will start moving. Okay, they will start moving into the deep blood vessels. They enter into the deep blood vessels. Okay, they enter into the deep blood vessels which are there present deep inside in our body. So from the lymph, what is now moving into the deep blood vessels? It is the microfilarial larvae. Okay, microfilarial larvae from the lymph, they are moving into the deep blood vessels. And now, once these enter into the deep blood vessels, they will be residing in the deep blood vessels throughout the daytime. Means throughout the daytime, they will be there present only in the deep blood vessels. And now, during the night time, now these, okay, what are those? Microfilarial larvae will be coming out from the deep blood vessels into the peripheral blood vessels. They come back into the peripheral blood vessels. Peripheral blood vessels means what? Which are superficial. Okay, which are superficial. They come back to the peripheral blood vessels. Now, when they will be coming to the peripheral blood vessels, they come to the peripheral blood vessels during the night time. They will be coming into the peripheral blood vessels during the night time. Okay, they will be coming into the peripheral blood vessels during the night time. It may be time. Okay, night time. We can say that it is between 10 p.m. Okay, it is between 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. Okay, 4 a.m. Between this particular period of time, this microfilarial larvae will be coming from the deep blood vessels into the peripheral blood vessels. This tendency, okay, this tendency is referred as nocturnal periodicity. This tendency is called as what? Nocturnal periodicity. Okay, periodicity. Please remember this word. Why it is called as nocturnal periodicity? It is because the microfilarial larvae present in the deep blood vessels will come back to the peripheral blood vessels during the night time. It may be between 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. They will be there in the superficially placed blood vessels, okay, in the blood. So that tendency is called as what? Nocturnal periodicity. Okay, that tendency is called as nocturnal periodicity. We are calling it as. So once they are there now, okay, once they are there. So what is there now in the blood? Superficial blood vessels. It is the microfilarial larvae is there. During which time, okay, during which time, when a mosquito, okay, when a mosquito sucks the blood, okay, when a mosquito sucks the blood of an infected person carrying the microfilarial larvae in his blood, okay, what kind of mosquito is this? What is the name of this mosquito? Female Culex mosquito. Let us write it as female Culex mosquito. Okay, female Culex mosquito. When a female Culex mosquito bites an infected person, It is taking these microfilarial larvae into its blood or into its body, okay, into its gut. Let us be very clear that when a female Culex mosquito sucks the blood of an infected person with microfilariae, now that will be carrying, the female Culex mosquito will be carrying the microfilariae into its gut now, okay, into its gut. So what is there now in the female Culex mosquito's gut? It is the microfilarial larvae that is present, okay, that is present now. Now they reached the gut of the female Culex mosquito. What reached the gut of the female Culex mosquito? It is the microfilarial larva that reached the gut of the female Culex mosquito. Please remember, a very important point is that this microfilarial larvae within 70 days, okay, within 70 days they should be transformed, okay, they should be transferred or move from the blood of an infected person into the mosquito. Within 70 days the microfilarial larvae should enter into the female Culex mosquito's gut, otherwise they will die, okay, they will die. So you have to remember, within 70 days the microfilarial larvae should enter into the female Culex mosquito's gut, otherwise the microfilariae larva will be destroyed, So this is what is happening, okay, in the case of man, the first host, okay, primary host, definitive host we are saying, okay, definitive host. Now what happens in the mosquito? Okay, now what we said, the microfilarial larvae reach the gut of the mosquito, Now what happens in the mosquito we are going to look at, okay, we are going to look at what happens in the mosquito. Now we said that the microfilarial larva is present in the gut of the mosquito, means it reached into the female Culex mosquito. Now what happens in the mosquito? Now let us see in mosquito. Now mosquito is the second host, okay, mosquito is the second host or intermediate host we are saying, or secondary host, okay, secondary host or intermediate host. Now what happens in the mosquito? Now as soon as it reaches the female Culex mosquito, now microfilarial larva is present in the gut, okay, is present in the gut. So what is present in the gut? It is the microfilarial larva, okay, microfilarial larva is present in the gut, okay, it is present in the gut of the mosquito. Now in the gut it will be undergoing excistation, okay, it will be undergoing excistation, means it will be the sheath that is there, okay, the sheath that is there around the microfilarial larva will get dissolved. It will be dissolved within 2 to 6 hours, okay, within 2 to 6 hours there will be dissolving of the sheath that is there around the microfilarial larvae. Now excisted larvae, okay, let us say excisted microfilarial larvae, okay, microfilarial larvae is present now. It is not enclosed by a cuticular sheath. That cuticular sheath is completely digested within 2 to 6 hours in the gut of the mosquito, So microfilarial larvae is free now. It is free. Now this microfilarial larvae, okay, will now penetrates, okay, it will penetrates the walls of the gut, okay, it will penetrates the walls of the gut, okay, walls of the gut, okay, walls of the gut it will penetrate. What is penetrating the walls of the gut? It is the microfilarial larvae, okay, please remember. Now microfilarial larva will be penetrating the walls of the gut, and now it will reach, okay, now what happens is it reaches the thoracic muscles of the mosquito. Now it reaches the thoracic muscles, okay, thoracic muscles of the mosquito. It reaches the thoracic muscles of the mosquito. What is reaching the thoracic muscles of the mosquito? It is the microfilaria larvae. Please remember, this microfilaria larvae is not now enclosed in a cutillar sheath. The cutillar sheath is completely dissolved in the gut, and that microfilaria larvae penetrated the walls of what? The gut, and from there it reached the thoracic muscles. Now inside the thoracic muscles, it will be changing, okay? It is changing into sausage shape. It is changing into sausage shape, okay? Sausage shape, okay? It is changing into sausage shape, okay? It is changing into sausage shape microfilaria. And for changing into sausage shape, okay, changing into sausage shape, it just takes about 2 days, okay? It just takes about 2 days. So you have to remember, okay? Please remember that changes, okay, changes within 2 days into what? Sausage shape, okay? Sausage shape. Now the microfilaria is in the form of what? Sausage shape, okay? Sausage shape. So you have to remember this, okay? Sausage shape, okay? Sausage shape. This sausage shaped larva is now also called as what? The first stage larva, okay? It is called as the first stage larva, okay? First stage larva, or otherwise we can call this as what? First stage microfilaria. First stage microfilaria, okay? This is the change that it has undergone. So first stage larva, or it is also known as what? First stage microfilaria. What is the shape of this? It is in sausage shape. Sausage shape. Now this first stage larva will undergo 2 moltings, okay? It will undergo 2 moltings, okay? Changes. It is undergoing further development. It is undergoing further development, okay? It undergoes 2 moltings, and for undergoing 2 moltings, it may take about 10 to 28 days. It may take about 10 to 28 days. It will take about 10 to 28 days. Now after which, now the first stage larva crossed the second stage larva, and now it is in what now? It is in third stage, okay? Third stage microfilaria. We can call this as now what? Third stage microfilaria, okay? Third stage microfilaria larva. Now it is in third stage microfilaria larva by undergoing how many moltings? 2 moltings. For undergoing 2 moltings, how many days it is taking? It is taking about 10 to 28 days. After which now we have to remember, it is this, okay? Third stage microfilaria larva is the infective to man. A very important point, okay? It is this which is infective to man. A very important point that we have to make note of this, okay? It is infective to man. It is not the first stage microfilaria larva. It is not the second stage microfilaria larva. It is the third stage microfilaria larva which is infective to man. And all these changes to form into the third stage microfilaria, to reach and form into third stage microfilaria larva is taking place in the mosquito. Is taking place in the mosquito, and we have to remember now the mosquito is carrying the third stage microfilaria larva which is infective to man. Which is infective to man. Okay, we have to remember this. So what happens in the man after the infection? What happens in the man after the infection? Now we studied that the mosquito is carrying the third stage microfilaria larva. Okay, third stage microfilaria larva which is infective to man. Which is infective to man. Now this mosquito, okay, what is the name of this mosquito? We said it is the female Culex mosquito. Okay, female Culex mosquito. When this female Culex mosquito bites, okay, when a female Culex mosquito bites a man, okay, bites a healthy man, it injects, okay, it injects the third stage microfilaria larva. Third stage microfilaria larva. Microfilaria larva it will be injecting, okay, microfilaria larva it will be injecting into the man. Now once it injects this, the microfilaria larva, immediately this microfilaria larva now reaches, okay, now reaches the lymph, okay, reaches the lymph nodes or lymphatic vessels. It reaches or enters into the lymphatic vessels where it resides. Okay, it reaches the lymphatic vessels and it resides over there and starts developing into young worms. It will be then these develops. Okay, what is developing? What is developing now in the lymphatic vessels? It is the microfilarial larva which will be developing into young. Okay, which will be developing into young filarial worms, which develops into young filarial worms. Okay, this is what is very important here. Now please remember, now mosquito which is carrying what? The third stage microfilarial larva bites a man, and in the once it bites the man, now these microfilarial larva, okay, microfilarial larva, okay, microfilarial larva, okay, reaches lymphatic vessels. Now inside the lymphatic vessels they develop. What is developing? Microfilarial larva will be developing in the lymphatic vessels. Now in the lymphatic vessels the microfilarial larva develops into young filarial worms, and these young filarial worms, okay, these young filarial worms attains sexual maturity, okay, attains sexual maturity within 5 to 18 months, okay, within 5 to 18 months, okay, within 5 to 18 months the young filarial worms will develop into what? Into sexual maturity, means adult worms. They will be called as now adult worms, which are now again ready to involve in what? Copulation. Once they involve in copulation, followed by what? Fertilization. Once they involve in fertilization, they are releasing the microfilarial larva, which is enclosed by what? Cuticular sheath, which is again reaching the lymphatic vessels. And in the lymphatic vessels, from there they migrate to the deep blood vessels, we said. From the deep blood vessels, they will come back to the peripheral blood vessels, we said. They will be residing in the deep blood vessels during the daytime. That is very interesting. And again they will be coming back to the peripheral blood vessels during the night time. That is referred as what? Nocturnal periodicity, we said. Okay, so likewise, as we studied already, okay, how it happens, what happens in the man, all that process will be taking place in the life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti. This is how the Wuchereria bancrofti will be completing its life cycle using two hosts. One is man and the other one is the female Culex mosquito. In man, what is happening? We said that it is man is always the primary host or definitive host where the sexual maturity or sexual life cycle is taking place. In the second host is what? The female Culex mosquito, which is called as intermediate host or secondary host where asexual reproduction will be taking place. So this is how the life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti will be taking place, which is responsible for causing a disease called as filariasis, which is well known as elephantiasis. So these are the points we should keep in mind when we discuss about the life cycle of Wuchereria bancrofti. In the next class, we are going to study about the symptoms, signs and the treatment that is given for this particular disease called as filariasis. Thank you so much.